All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Ian, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Are you able to hear me just fine?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. All right, let's see how let everyone else come in. We got approximately 400 people in here and counting. Oh, it's going nuts. Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about certain things are revolving around trend lines. Hey, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me just change a few things here. Let me get my chat out of the way. 1 second here. Let's get this all started. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right, I think the room's going to be packed before we even get started. Okay, so everything is recorded, guys, not to worry. Everything is recorded. So welcome, guys, welcome. It is great to have you guys. Lots of familiar names. Good to have you guys here. So Ian messaged me earlier this week. So Ian, to look at your message, you wanted to know more about trend lines. You know, what are trend lines? How do you draw trend lines? And is there a trading system around trend lines? Right? Does that sum it up? Did you have any more questions around it? That sounds like all the trend line questions ever.
Well, yeah, pretty much all the general stuff. I mean, I have a few specifics, but I think once you start going into everything, I'm sure the questions will kind of pop up as you're talking. So I'll just kind of start with the basics, I guess. Just is there right and wrong ways to draw trend lines, or like how exactly we do it, how they can be used, kind of all
Okay,
that
yeah,
general stuff.
there's all kinds of stuff around trend lines, right? Breakouts, trend line breakout systems, trend line breakout strategies, all kinds of stuff. How many guys in this room right now actually have dealt with trend lines before and have a experience of I draw the trend line, but then I'm not sure, I'm not sure what to do with it. I'm not even sure if it's right. That's like the questions coming in. Yeah? Okay, okay, ton of you guys. All right, so shall we get started then? Let's go straight into it. Okay, okay, fantastic, fantastic. All right, so let's get started here. Now, I'm gonna share a whiteboard first, and then before we go into the charts and stuff, I'm gonna share the whiteboard. First, I wanna see where, okay, here we go. Let me just get the whiteboard up. Let me get the chat out of the way. I think the room is packed now. Sorry if you guys are watching this recording or on YouTube and you couldn't get in live. Apologize for that. It's packed. All right. Hi, Stephen. Saying first time in the webinar. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. How many of you guys here, before we begin, how many of you guys here are for the first time? You guys are saying volume too low. Is my volume okay, Ian? Can you hear me just fine?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Volume, everyone's saying volume is good. Okay, perfect. Volume is good. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right. Okay, some people here are for the first time. Okay, so for those of you guys who do not know how we do things in here, so my name's Naveen Prithyani from urbanforex.com. Obviously, that's Ian with me from also from urbanforex.com. Ian's a colleague of mine. I am training him around various topics, and we're doing this training live, so you guys can look over his shoulder and see, okay, how am I training him, a colleague of mine, to make sure he knows every piece of information that there needs to be known for a specific topic. And that's why we thought we'd make it public, so that way you guys can, benefit by watching it as well. Yeah? So far, so good? Okay, and the other thing is all the messages you're typing in the chat, only me and Ian can see them, no one else. That means do not feel shy to participate when I ask questions to Ian. You guys can also participate in. I will be able to see it, and then so on and so forth. So no need to feel shy because only we can see your messages, yeah? So feel free to guess on the answer in case. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, a lot of you guys are students at Urban Forex from the Mastering Price section. Okay, excellent, excellent. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's get started. Here we go. Circle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay, let's give him a little bit of hair. Oh, yeah. It's like just a woke up person. All right. Now, trend lines. Trend lines. Okay. Ian, do you have your annotation tools on this thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to draw something and I want you to draw a uptrend line for me. Okay, let's take it super basic, super basic. See if you can draw an uptrend line for me. Let's start from there and then we'll get more and more complex. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you're drawing the highs. Now, here's the question. When I'm doing a trend line, do I need to draw the highs or the lows? Which one is actually important?
Well, it's a good question. But I'm assuming, at least if you're dealing with an uptrend, you're looking for higher highs and higher lows. So I'm assuming you probably want to draw the trend line on the upper side.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a quick hack. When you're going in the same direction, okay, so in case for an uptrend, your highs are in that same direction, right?
Yeah.
The upper one is momentum. It measures momentum. The lower one is to measure trend change.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they're two different things, but they're both important. Okay, so for example, okay, let me do something here. So let's say it was like this, and then you draw the upper side. Can you draw the upper side again?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, and then I do this. So what now? Are you going to suddenly curve that line to try to connect it? How would we do it?
Might look like that if I do it on here, but you'd probably then have to look for the lowest point. Your whole angle of your trend line would change. Like
Would change. Okay, but you've used the trend lines before, right, Ian? You've at least dabbled with it.
Yeah, dabbled. Yeah.
Okay, how do I know? Okay, I'm going to change my color, and I'm going to ask you a simple question. How do I know? Do I connect this part to that part, this part to that part, or this part to that part? What am I supposed to connect?
I don't know. That was actually one of my specific questions I had actually for you, just because really when you look at a chart, you can draw lines all over the place. Like you can connect anything and make anything you want to look however you want. But that's always been one of my questions I've always had. Am I actually drawing it from the correct, low point to high point? And
okay, so okay, that's perfect. Let's take it one step further back. Why is it important to draw it correctly?
Well, the theory behind you're using the trend line as a barrier or to gauge something. So if it's drawn incorrectly, like it can throw, like I said before, you can draw lines all over the place, but you need to know if it's correct so you can actually correctly use that in your analysis. So
okay, fair enough. I'm going to ask that question again towards the end to make sure when we come back to this, we're going to circle back and I'm going to ask you why are trend lines important to draw correctly. And then we'll see if you have a much more solid answer. So 50 minutes on the clock. We got to take Ian from 0 to hero. Okay. All right. Within 50 minutes, we got to get him a trend line mastery. All right. Here we go. Now, sometimes you'll see a candle and it'll do that. Then the market will go down. Then the market will go down. And then the market will go up. And then it'll go up again. Okay, so now do I draw like this? Or do I draw like that? Am I connecting the bodies? Am I connecting the tails? Does that question come up in your mind, or any of you guys in this room? That you guys ever have that feeling of, wait, where do I draw this?
Yeah, I get that question for sure.
Okay, good. So a couple things you need to understand about drawing trend lines. Trend line is always after the fact. You cannot predict a trend line. It's always after. Okay, so always remember that. Once you draw it from the past, then you can pretty much try to determine will it hold true again. That is a guess. It's a theory. It is not set in stone. So let's do this. If I have a movement up and it pulls back, and then I have a movement up, can I connect here to here?
You don't really know yet until you don't know that it's stopped moving up. So you need some sort of
there you go. So what if it did this? Can I connect it up?
You could, yeah, I suppose.
Okay, let me switch it around a little bit, and then it does that. And then we say, oh, no, that's not my trend line. That's my trend line.
Yeah.
And then by the end of drawing the whole trend line, you're like, I spent 7 hours of my day trying to get the perfect trend line. I don't know what I'm doing. Trade's gone. Right? Because there's this huge illusion of how the hell do I draw it? You know, like,
yeah.
Okay,
For sure.
so here we go. To keep matters simple, do swings. Start with the idea of learn to connect swings. This comes in handy even with channels, okay? Channels are ranges that are sideways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so focus on swings. Now, what is a swing? Okay, you have the market going up, pull back up, every step of the way, SNR, and then it goes down, pull back down. Okay, the up has been broken and it's come down. That, after the fact, it's done, marks your high.
Okay.
When you get that again, wherever it does it, and then it starts to turn and makes a downtrend, lower high, lower lows, after the fact is only then you can say, that's my high. I shall connect these highs.
So you're looking for swings in the opposite direction, basically, before you can accurately draw your line, basically.
Correct. So there's less guessing and more accuracy of, okay, that's what I'm dealing with. Done. Period. Now let's go into the fine pieces. Do I connect the bodies? Do I connect the tails and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the next part is, if you guys understand the swing part now, and now it's like there's a tail here and there's just a body here. And you're like, okay, should I connect it from the tail to the body, or from the body to the body, or from the tail to the body? Because my angles of my trend line will change accordingly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole question around, well, which one is it? That has a lot to do with, what are you trying to do? Okay, this will come in handy towards the end when we talk about objective. What's the objective of doing this? Okay, people are so focused on, I need to draw a trend line. Why? Because some brown guy on the internet keeps saying trend line, so I want to draw a trend line. But why am I doing this? No idea. Right? That's like 90% of the world is like, I go onto YouTube, I got to do fasting. Why? I don't know. Someone's doing it on YouTube, so I'm fasting as well. Why? Yeah. It's like, okay, so trend lines. Here we go. Okay, now, the whole goal of a trend line that majority people like to focus on is a change in direction, which is if the buyers are going up, okay, let's say this is a swing. I'm not drawing all the details, okay? I'm not going to draw that detail like that.
Yeah.
That's a swing up, and what we're doing is we're drawing this and saying we can connect this to this. But what happens when this piece doesn't connect to that? What does that mean?
It means the pullback's not coming in as deep anymore. It's weakening.
That indicates the momentum got stronger. You see? Before, prices were coming down deep, and now they're unable to come down deep. The buyers are getting stronger. Momentum is picking up. Okay? So now, if the momentum is picking up, and then how about now? If I draw this to this, it's not connecting. Momentum picking up. It's getting aggressive. It's getting strong. So far, so good?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah? Okay. Now, let me do this. You've been connecting these lows and saying, okay, the moment it breaks the lows, I'm going to think about how can I get in onto the sells? Because that's the job of a trend line, to tell you the trend has been broken. Therefore, we're going to do the opposite. So let me do this. If the momentum gets strong, is this trend line still valid?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Okay, here's where the confusion starts coming in. So we have subject A drawing his trend line like this. Yeah, nice and smooth. 50 years of experience coming from preschool. I know how to connect dots. Yeah, baby. All right. Then we have the next guy. Yo, man, I got another 5 years of experience on you. I can connect these dots, and I think that's what's up. Okay, sorry, I don't want to talk like that, and I think that's what's cool these days, right? Like, okay, now there's a battle between these two players of, well, what does this mean? This guy is saying if I get a break below this, it's all about the sells. And that guy says if I get a break below this, it's all about the selling. They're both correct. They're both correct. Here's what's going to happen. When this thing breaks, some traders will get ready to do some selling off of this. And then the sell goes down. It goes hard. How are the sellers feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, right? I'm going to change the color to red. Okay. So sells are going down. They feel great. They're like, yeah, baby, it's going. Then it pulls back again. And then it goes down again. Yeah, baby, it's good. Now, in their visual preference for those guys who focused on this trend line, their job is my sells are working. I'm going to hold on until I see a hole on the bottom of my monitor and the price just goes through it and goes down to my neighbors downstairs and goes through their house and down to hell and says hello to the devil, right? That's the goal of these trend line break guys. They're like, I want to see that price to drop so low that Chinese people on the other end of the planet are like, oh, what's this? So that's the goal, right? Okay, here's the thing. Someone who's sitting here watching this uptrend line, he's saying price always respects my uptrend line, always. For these guys is prepare for buys. Prepare for buys.
You're going to get some complications with your sells there from all the people jumping on the buys. Yeah.
There you go. So far, all I did was talk about some trend lines here and there. Shall we move a little bit into price action?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just going to move you. I'm going to divert you from trend lines into price action, and I'll bring you back to trend lines. Ready?
Sounds good.
Have you heard the saying that a trend that's going up cannot reverse and go down? Do you know that to be true? A trend always needs to roll over before going back down. Okay?
Yeah, it needs transition time, yeah.
An uptrend will become a channel. A channel will probably become a range. A range will become a down channel. A down channel will become a downtrend, and it'll pick up speed. Yeah. This is due to the multiple layers of trend lines people are looking at. Until you don't get rid of all the different styles of trend lines coming at you, your speed will never pick up, because someone or the other is saying, and then now I buy, and then now I buy. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
So anyone who's trying to catch the top, thinking, I will take the absolute best price and I'm going to sell it so hard, and man, like I'm going to make so much money, and then it goes in their direction and bounces again, and they're like, I thought it was a trend line break. Naveen told me when a trend line breaks, it's supposed to go down, but it's not going down. And while waiting for it to go down, I had 3 grandchildren by then. Right? It's so irritating to wait for it. Like, why isn't it going? Why isn't it going?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
So this is the difference between the multiple trend lines that are coming at you with the momentum. Now, if I do this, okay, I have this trend line, I have that trend line, it'll drive people nuts, right? That's like, oh, I'm not going to draw 50 trend lines. right? That's going to drive you nuts. It's like, I'm not going to do that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now we talk about what's the objective. How do the larger players use trend lines as a point of reference to make a living? Okay. Now, obviously, every webinar I teach you in an area as if it is the most important thing on the planet. And again, even in this webinar, trend lines is the most important thing on the planet because that's how you get mastery. You have to put all your energy and love into one piece, become a pro at it, and get the next piece pro at it, put it together, next piece pro at it, put it together, and then, you know, you make the puzzle accordingly.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, here we go. I'll change the color a bit. Okay, let's make it dark blue so anyone who can't see this will be able to see it. Let's throw a little curveball. Prices are going up. It's set in stone that this is your uptrend line, right? It's set in stone. But then prices do this. Had that experience before?
Oh yeah, lots. Yeah.
Right? So it's like, wait, what is this? What? I didn't see that coming. What is that? Do I count it? Do I ignore it? Do I, you know, break my trend line here and saying, okay, now you go here? But then it went higher high again. Okay, in a candlestick pattern, if that was a candle, this piece to this piece, I'm going to draw circles. This circle to this circle. The next candle is engulfing it. It's almost like it's taking it out fully.
Yeah.
Right? It's an engulfing pattern, or the big brother, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know what people call it these days, but it's doing all this. So now the question is, what was this? Are people going to call this a probe? Are people going to call this a faker? Whatever it's called, I don't care. What does it mean? That's what's important when you're trading. I don't care what it's called. I don't care what Oxford University people are saying about this in terms of the refined language of what this is, you know, you don't care about that. Look, put your glasses away. You want to figure out, what does this mean? That's all you're concerned about, right? So when prices move in a certain direction, it always means something. Always means something, right? Oh, you have to remember that. Okay. So when dealing with something like this, it's obviously trying to break your trend line. Okay, so let's shake this back a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now, when this trend line breaks, this is where the evil boo-boo happens, if you want to call it. People look at this as break. What does it mean at that moment? They don't see it's going to be a fake yet, right? No one at that live moment, no one can predict the future. They just simply see a break, and therefore they're preparing for a sell. And as they're preparing for a sell, it goes higher. They're like, okay, that's the sell. It wasn't at SNR. It's going to be higher. And then it goes a little bit higher. Okay, that's the sell. It's testing the underside of the trend line. We need some kind of resistance. Then it goes a little bit higher, and then it goes up there. It's like, okay, double top, and then we sell. And it goes a little bit higher, like, you know what? This whole thing was a fake. But after ruining someone's account balance all the way down to zero, because the guy keeps trying and trying and trying and trying.
Yeah.
Had this experience? Anyone?
Yeah, I have for sure.
Yeah. You know why I know this so well? Because I was that guy. I was that guy selling and selling and selling and selling. And then I said, you know what? I take my laptop, screw this trend lines. It doesn't work. You know, like, all right. But it's the understanding around the trend lines that makes all the difference. Okay. So it has a lot to do with price action also, but for the sake of, if all you know is trend lines, let's work on that a bit. Now, here we go. Can you explain to me, Ian, what is a downtrend?
Lower highs and lower lows.
Okay.
Basically.
I'm going to ask a simple question to everyone in this room. What is a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows. Okay. Ian, can you draw that for me? Here we go. Let's put everyone in here, their knowledge to the test to see, are you pro enough? Okay. All right. Is this a lower high?
It is, yeah.
How do you know?
Well, I mean, I don't have any more information up here, I guess. So,
Okay.
I know it's, I guess if you were to say, you know, that's lower than if you had this, depending on how much information you have.
I want you to focus on what you just did. You needed a confirmed previous high before you can call this a lower high.
Right.
Is this a lower low?
Same thing again. I'd have to like draw another piece like this to.
You needed a confirmed low first before you can call this a lower low. Many people just look at the visual design of this and say, downtrend, baby. Without actually understanding of you can't get a downtrend unless you have another set coming onto it. So far, so good? Okay, super basic stuff. 90% of the world doesn't understand this, but they all can say lower high, lower lows. Everyone can say this, but yet it's a mystery. Okay, here we go. Let's go deeper. Ready? So in this process, uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Okay, at what point is it officially an uptrend? Where's your higher high?
Your higher high would be, I need to get my drawing tool here. It probably right here is your first real higher high that you have that you can.
Perfect. That's your higher high. Where's your higher low?
Right here.
Okay. Now, how do you know that's a higher low? Only when you get this piece.
Right. Yeah.
So if I draw this portion, boom, 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 it's not an uptrend.
Right.
I need this to happen, and then I gotta finish it, and then it's an uptrend.
That makes a lot of sense. I
Right?
never really thought about it that way because you look at the lines going up, but you don't really. That's pretty cool, actually. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's one extra line, and everyone just judges it, and that is a basic missing element that everyone just screws up on, and then therefore everything else that comes after it is all mistakes. Is all mistakes. Okay? All right, so here we go. So far, so good? Are you with me, right? Everyone here also watching along with me? Okay. I see some people saying, Naveen, can you do that again? I'm not doing a magic show. I'm trying to show the basics. It's the real basics that you have to master, right? Okay. It's not like, and then from my sleeve, another trend came out, Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. I'll do another example. Yeah. So let's do it in a different way. I always like to throw a little curveball, right? Here we go. Okay. All right. Let's do this. So the markets are going down. We're going to flip it around a little bit. They're going down, pulls back, goes down, pulls back, goes down. Downtrend confirmed?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Now that you have a downtrend and you're like, got it. Therefore, I will use my skills from elementary school to do this. And I will use my skills from elementary school to do this. All right. So we got that stuff going on. Now, in this process, the buys goes up, bam. It breaks that down move.
Yep.
That down move, that means the down trend has been broken.
Yeah.
So now what? What does that mean?
Well, it doesn't really mean anything yet. I mean, you can't say it's an uptrend yet.
Why not? Why not?
Well, you need more information. You
need more information.
A lower high, and then you need to see more, because that could easily just come right back down.
Good.
Similar
Good.
to your other example where
what we're doing right now is just based on your knowledge of the last 30 minutes, you and we're going to make a strategy here live together. How do you develop a trading system or a trading strategy using trend lines? Okay.
Yeah, cool.
And we can call this trend line trading strategy that works in 2020. Okay. All right, here we go. Or 5 best ways to draw trend lines. Okay. All right. Anyways, so we have this downtrend. It breaks into the up move. Once it breaks up, the whole idea, remember what I said before, can a down become an up?
Not straight away. It needs.
Not straight away. Good. Good. Having that said, from this moment, it starts to pull back. We don't know if it's going to come back inside. So you will never trade very close to the break. That is like, no good. Slap of the wrist. Okay. Never trade at the break or around the break. Let it develop.
Okay.
So far, so good?
Yep.
Anyone trading at the break is at the mercy of gambling. They might get lucky, they might not. But it is not consistent. Here we go. Then the price comes here. Can you buy it now?
No.
This is a typical design people love to do. Break out of a range, and then I gotta buy that. I have to buy that. Can you buy?
Nope.
Nope, not yet. Let it develop. This, what it's gonna do, is gonna try to resume. You want to see, go back to the downtrend, and I wanna see the inability to downtrend.
Right, okay. Giving you that time and that transition too.
Correct. Do we have a higher high in this process anywhere?
Not yet, no.
Do we have a higher low in the process?
Maybe, but you don't know yet.
Can you draw my first low? Where's my first low that I'm watching?
Probably watching this low here.
Okay, so green circle, you're saying that's the low. Do we have a higher low?
It looks like it's going to be higher, but I would want to see some sort of something to.
There you go. There you go. Many people start drawing this as the higher low. And then, oh, that's not it. It's that one. Oh, that's not it. It's that one. They start buying it ahead of time, thinking, I got to buy it. Doesn't work. I got to buy it. Doesn't work. I got to buy it. Doesn't work. It's still a higher low still, but I just, have to take a loan from the bank because I have no money for rent now. Right? You see what's happening? Yes, the logic is correct that you want to buy. Not yet. Calm down. Right? Not yet.
Because in theory, this could just zip down too.
There you go. And then the whole possible break is a void. And then we can say, looks like it was fake.
Yeah.
You don't claim it as fake just because you see it in an Oxford dictionary, because we have to label it something. You know now why it's a fake.
Yeah.
Okay? You understand it. You understand the why behind it. It's not just a label. Right? Okay. So
you get that move, you're just predicting. You're basically just trying to predict until you get that confirmation either way.
Correct.
You're just fortune telling is all you're really doing.
There you go.
Thinking.
There you go. So now, how about this? Let me remove one of your lines. Can you remove your green line?
Yep.
Wait.
Sorry.
Like, yes, just remove all the lines. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So now, let's say this thing goes up. I'm going to change my color now to red. Okay. So now here's what we're going to focus on. So now it goes up, and you're like, there's my higher low. Hello, new little one. Welcome to this planet. Okay. So you got your higher low. You now have half of the piece required to make an uptrend.
Yep.
What's going to happen now is many people who are looking at this downtrend, would you say there are some people looking at the downtrend in an angle like that? Because they're connecting
definitely.
that guy and that guy?
Yep.
So you don't know yet. You don't know yet. And then here, they fight again. And then it goes up. Hello, higher low. We meet again. What you're doing is you're tiring out the sellers every single time that this is happening. Every time that slows down, the seller's like, you know what? This is irritating me. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. What is the nail in the coffin for the sellers?
Some sort of a strong, I'm assuming some sort of a strong buy move that comes above.
If that comes in, you know all the sellers are buying diapers. Okay? Trying not to use words, but they're buying diapers now. They're like, oh no, what is happening? But what just happened is you now developed an uptrend. Any buy off of this, you're going to make some money.
Because now you've put in a higher high as well.
You're going to make some money. Yeah. Because by now, you've got rid of the sellers. By doing that process, you've got rid of the sellers. Now, I'm going to try to explain all this very slowly. Here we go. All of you guys here, right? I'm going to change the color here to dark blue. That's you guys. Okay, or here, that's Ian. There you go, man. That's you. All right, I'll give you a little bit of a hair. And I'm going to pick one person from the room. And there's Vinayak just next to you. Okay, he's right behind you. He's like, yep, what are we going to do today, buddy? And there's Suburban. Okay, Suburban Forex. All right. So all three of you guys are players, and you're like, yeah. Okay, and even Elton. Okay, he wants to be in this too. So all of you guys are like, we're gonna sell this, right? We're gonna sell this, and you guys figure it out some way, shape, or form, and you hit the sells right there. Sells going your way. All of you guys that names I've said, including you, Ian, and it pulls back. How do you feel?
I'm expecting a pull. I'm still feeling okay.
Feeling all right. Then it goes down. Bam. How do you feel?
Really good now.
Yeah. You're rubbing your fingers and you're like, yeah, this looks good. Pulls back a little bit. Bam. How do you feel?
Well, where's the Ferrari?
There you go. Why just one? Why not 10 Ferraris, right? Feeling proud, feeling great. And then you get a movement that challenges your last movement and wipes away that profit that where you said, where's the Ferrari? Ferrari just went. How do you feel?
Definitely that was my first worried point. I wouldn't, not freaked out, but definitely worried at this point.
Okay. But remember, you were nostalgic, or not nostalgic, you were euphoric when you were making money. So you're in the mindset of it's going to go. It'll go again. Right?
Yeah.
And then we'll just upgrade a little bit from Ferrari to Rolls Royce. You know, why not? Why not? Or we'll get both. Okay. Then the price comes down choppy. How do you feel?
Pretty nervous now, especially knowing how hard it came up before when it came to that area. So
okay. Then it shoots up a little bit, but he doesn't go higher than the last time it panicked you.
Still okay, but getting pretty nervous, but I'm still okay because
Okay, I'm going to draw a line here. There. You see that line I slashed the chart in? Until that point, you and none of your buddies had any issues whatsoever. But after that line, your tone has changed.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Should I? No, like you're panicking. In the range, the conservative ones, okay, Ian, let's say you're conservative, you might get out. But the aggressive ones are like, no, it'll go, man. Just watch. I swear to you, I swear on my neighbor, it's going to go. Just watch. I know it. Okay? I know it. And then what does it take? A strong push against them. Close. Now, ready? Is at this point, if anyone who's focusing on this, knowing that the sellers are getting out and they focus on their buys here, that buy will pick up speed because there's no one selling. Sellers quit.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
But anyone who's so aggressive trying to get in at the earliest break of that is gonna die. Anyone gets in on the test of that trend line is gonna die. Because there's no understanding of the market structure. There's zero understanding of that. It is simply a strategy that's a failing strategy by doing that. Okay? So if you ever see a strategy like that, run the opposite way. Right? It's as simple as that. Okay? So now a trend line is a guide. Is it an entry mechanism?
No.
No. So anyone saying I need a trend line stuff, because I need a trend line to break and then I will enter. I need a trend line to break so I know where my stop loss is going to be. All those people are in trouble because they don't know what to do next. It's just a break happens and the mind goes blank. And that's it. So I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to focus on just a break of a trend line because that trend line can go back down and resume.
Yeah.
Right?
It's what the information tells you after that break that's important, more so.
There you go. There you go. So now we're going to spin it back. Ready? All of you guys, we're going to take you back now. All right, let's go down memory lane. Memory lane, I mean 20 minutes ago. Right? Because we live in the world of instant gratification. 20 minutes is a super long time. Let's go back 20 minutes. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Now, we have this downtrend that we were going and going and going and going. And then we draw this line and we're like, oh, such beautiful line. Mwah! You know, look at that. So good, so good. Then the price comes up. It breaks that. Nothing happens here. He does that a little bit, comes crashing down. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do I change my line to incorporate this, or can I keep my line where it is?
You can keep your line where it is at that point.
You can keep it where it is for now.
Yeah.
This basically means many people, what do you think people did when that trend line broke?
Bought.
They bought. If they bought, that means they're all stuck when that market crashed on them. And all those people stuck is fuel or gasoline or electric these days to go down faster. So now if it goes down faster, your trend line needs to be adjusted to the one with the higher momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes
Because
sense.
if you wait for this thing to break, and you will get a very late price in the buy, a very, very late price. You got to stick with the price so you can get a buy done early on. So you can decide what to do there and even cash out a little bit.
Yeah.
Remember what happens if a big boy is looking at this, they're like, come on down, come on down, come on down. And then they buy it. They buy it here. Just give it a second. They buy it there. Does the public know about the buy?
No.
And then it goes up till here. But the public sees a nice downtrend. Do they know about the buy yet?
No.
And then it bounces here a little bit and then it goes even higher. Now does the public see it?
Yeah, they'll start to see it now.
Now they're jumping in on the buys. What do you think that buyer, that big boy who started buying earlier, is starting to do?
Cash out, I would say. He's made his
Cash
money.
out. And this cycle repeats over and over and over and over again. Okay, all day long, day and night, any time frame, 1 minute to the daily to the 1 second, all day long. It's because the human psychology on the market, unfortunately, is I will sell if it's down, and I will buy only if it goes up. But there is an element of I got to predict it a little bit. You have to take that little risk.
People like to see visual confirmation usually before.
Yeah. Right? That's why, how many corporations in the world are there versus how many people work for the corporations, right?
Yeah.
It's because the risk is being taken by only a select few.
Right.
By doing all the excessive homework, and the rest want to just tell me what to do. Give me a salary. I just want to watch Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't want to think of all this stuff. Just trend line break, done. I'll do a trend line break. I don't want to think about it. You see, you don't want to be that guy because those guys die in the market. They become the victims in the market. Okay, so when we have this wave of people coming in, they're getting wiped out very quickly because they're thinking the market is a shortcut to success. And then they're watching all these Instagrams and this and that, and they're getting reeled in thinking, oh man, he clicked a few buttons and then he bought a Gucci shirt and a Ferrari in different colors. Oh man, it looks easy. And then you go to his website and it's like $2,000 if you want to learn how to do this. Huh? It's like, so you want me to pay you money for you to teach me how to make money? Why don't you just give me the money? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like a signal service, right? Well, who buys a signal service? I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make any sense. All right. So far, so good?
Yeah. So you could even use those trend lines. Like if you were to put the work in reading the story, you can even maybe not use the trend lines like a traditional trader would use them. You could almost use them like I know a lot of people would get in there. You know what I mean? Like in that sense, to kind of know when the public would be getting in and when maybe you should not get in and use it that way.
That's the element of trading. You can use trend lines, you can use MACD, you can use RSI, you can use Fibonacci, you can use whatever you want, bat pattern, cat pattern, dinosaur patterns, whatever you want. It's just, do you understand the market? Right? Have you noticed, you're in the Mastering Price section 2.0 at Urban Forex, right? Have you ever noticed me talk about a trend line or anything like that in there?
No.
The whole focus is, can you read price perfectly? Yeah. Do you know what is happening to price around all these indicators and all this mumbo jumbo that everyone's trying to do? If you can understand that, you're one step ahead, and that's all it takes. You don't need to be 100 steps ahead, just one step ahead, because the shark is just behind. Okay? Taking out anyone who is just behind you.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right. All right. So let me pull this up. All right. How many, I want to ask a question. How many of you guys here are already, yes, sorry. Some of you guys are asking, is this recording? Yes, it's recorded. We're going to be giving it to you in your libraries. We're going to be putting it up on YouTube as well. But how many of you guys here, there's like 1,300 of you guys here. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of you guys in here. All right. How many of you guys here are actually students of Urban Forex from the Mastering Price Section 2.0? Okay, it looks like half the room is students. It's like, okay. All right. Yeah, that's a lot of me's. Holy crap. All right, cool. How many of you guys are not students of Urban Forex? Okay. Those of you guys who are not part of Urban Forex or the Mastering Price Section 2.0, which is the stepping stone, the block that gets you to the next level, to think outside the box, you can pick up the Mastering Price Section 2.0 today, and I will open up the 4th of July special for you once again. If you're in this room, I'll give you the 4th of July pricing again. Okay? Because if you understand everything that you've learned so far in this webinar, your brain is starting to click of, okay, so I have to think a little bit differently than the traditional connect this, connect that, please. And when that connection breaks, then you got to trade. If you can think past that, Urban Forex is going to be your new home. That is where you're going to stay for the rest of your life. Urban Forex is now family. But if you're from that mindset of, I need a technical pattern, I need A plus B is equal to C, then you can join the 99%. There is no room at Urban Forex because nothing is going to be in that language. Nothing is in that language. Okay? If you want to raise the bar and you want to join the Mastering Price Section 2.0 and start your journey as a trader the right way, then you guys can join the MPA 2.0 using the 4th of July special, which is, let me type it for you. It is urbanforex.com/webinar. I'm going to type it in for you. urbanforex.com/webinar. Ian, do you want to buy it again as well?
Sure.
How long have you been in the Mastering Price Section, Ian? How long has it been since you started?
Urban Forex in general? Like,
no, the MPA 2.0. How long has it been for you?
December, November, I think, when it was first released. So
okay.
Yeah, about whatever that is now. It's almost like halfway through the year now. So I guess it's like 8 months or 7 months.
Okay. How many of you guys here are actually further down the line? You guys are like in the iconic or even at the elite level? Okay. So I'm guessing there's no one from the outside in this webinar. It's all students. It's just all students. Okay, great. I'm glad. You know, this makes me happier that our students are majority of the people in our webinars, because that tells us that you're not just learning and saying, okay, let me try something else. And then you read a book, let me try something else. You're solid, you're grounded, and you know where you're headed. Everything makes sense, and you're going deeper and further. You're going deeper and further. One of the things that sets all of you guys apart as Urban Forex students is your ability to have patience and try to understand the why. Okay? As everything that we do, it's never around do this and you'll be good. I hate that language. I really dislike that language. I want to know why. I was that kid my parents hated because I kept asking why. Be that guy who says why. It needs to make sense to you. Otherwise, don't even put $1 on that trade. You need to know why. Why should you do certain things? Right? All right, Ian, any final questions? Anything you want to touch base on? Again, I know we went the whole hour on just a whiteboard. I didn't get a chance to even get onto the charts, but maybe we can do some examples or something on our website for trend lines for everybody. But
Great. Yeah.
Any
I think you got-
questions?
I think you covered most of like all little questions kind of got answered throughout the webinar. So I mean, gave me a really solid understanding of how and when I should use Trendline. So it was really
Yeah.
great that you could take your time to do that for me. That was fantastic.
So some of the earlier webinars that we've done together, you notice the rhythm of price action is very similar, but then the technicals change around a little bit,
Yeah.
right? That's the key. The key is not the technicals. You can give me any technical pattern, I'll find a way. It's the read of the market. Can you do that? If you can do that, you're golden. You're golden.
Each pattern's a little bit different. Like they're going to give you the exact same pattern, quote unquote.
Exactly. There you go. Because someone new is always going to come up with a new strategy, new system, new technique, always. And then they'll have to keep filtering it. So, all right, guys. So again, for those of you guys who are new and you want to join the MPA 2.0, it is www.urbanforex.com/webinar. You can pick up the course. That is $149. You will be able to pick it up for less than $100 today. It is yours to keep. Every single day you get examples as well on what you've learned in that week. Week after week, I will release new lessons so you have enough time to practice. But at the same time, every single day you'll get examples for that specific week. So there's lots of material, lots of practicing, so that way you can raise the bar on how you look at the markets. All right, guys. So I hope I've answered all your questions, Ian. I know your three major ones was what is a trend line? But I know you know what is a trend line. The other one was how do you draw a trend line? Now you know it can be subjective, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right?
It's kind of how you draw it, knowing how to use the chart to draw it. That was the main, like, instead of just drawing lines, I could have 1,000 lines on my chart, but knowing how to draw, that was fantastic.
Quick pop quiz. If it's a downtrend, if I connect my tops, what am I trying to do?
The tops of a downtrend?
The top part of a downtrend, yeah. Why am I drawing that?
To measure the moment, like the speed.
Okay. Is it the top or the bottom?
The bottom, yeah, that's what I mean. I think we did an uptrend. I got all confused.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's if you connect the tops, then that basically means if that breaks, you're looking for a change in direction. But if it's in the downtrend and then your angle gets even deeper, then your momentum has increased. So you can draw it on both ends if you want. If both sides are holding, what does that mean?
It's
top and bottom, they're maintaining perfectly equal.
And the trend is still going.
Is it a trend?
Well, a channel.
A channel. Okay, you guys know what you guys are doing. Get out of here. All right, we're done for the webinar. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for coming. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers, Ian.
So yeah, thank you.
No problem. Take care. Bye for now.